Welcome to Fireside Chat. My name is Sai. The last two videos were about how to save for your emergency fund and how to pay off your debt quickly in 2022. Now let's talk about how to build your retirement portfolio from the scratch starting on January 1st. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what types of retirement accounts you can open, how much you can contribute to them, and how to choose your investments based on your risk tolerance. Let's get right into it. First, let me go over the types of retirement plans available to you in accordance with the IRS. The most common retirement plans are the 401k, TSP, 403b, 457, and the IRAs. You can check out the other types of retirement plans on this website, and I will put the link in the description below. So most of you know that the 401ks are the most common one in the private sector. 403b plans are provided to people who work for a public school, college, university, church, or some type of charitable entity under Section 501 of the IRS. For the 457b plans, the organization has to be a state or local government or a tax-exempt organization, also under Section 501 of the IRS. The Thrift Savings Plan, or TSP, is similar to the 401k, but it's for the U.S. federal employees and the military members. Whether you have 401k, TSP, 403b, or 457, you have the opportunity to invest for your retirement in the long term. I encourage you to check out these videos I made, and I will put the links in the description below. So the first thing I will set up in my retirement portfolio is my employer sponsor plan, and I will use 401k plan as an example. If you don't have it, then that's okay. We'll talk about the other retirement plans later on in this video. The 401k plan is the most common employer sponsor plan in the United States since its inception in 1978. If you're working for a private company, chances are you have a 401k plan with your employer. So here are some things I would do with the 401k if I were creating a brand new retirement portfolio. If you have no idea how to access your 401k account, you need to make sure that you contact your HR to find out who your 401k broker is. It could be Vanguard, Schwab, Fidelity, or maybe TD Ameritrade. Once you have access to your 401k account, take a look and see how much you're currently contributing to your 401k. Then ask your HR or reach your 401k plan to see if your employer matches your contribution. So what that means is if you contribute 6% of your paychecks to your 401k, then your employer could match up to 3%, and that's just an example. You should also find out if your employer offers the Roth 401k plan. Roth means you're contributing to your retirement after you have paid your taxes, so you let the money grow tax-free. A traditional 401k plan is where you contribute money before you pay your taxes, but you'll pay taxes on the growth when you withdraw from your fund. Keep in mind that if you have the Roth option, your employer match will go to your traditional 401k. So if you have the employer match, you will have both a Roth 401k for the personal contributions and a traditional 401k for the employer contributions. Starting on January 1st, 2022, your maximum contribution limit for the 401k is $20,500. If you're age 50 and older, it's $27,000. If you don't know how much you should contribute to your 401k, you should start with your employer match. So for example, if your employer gives you 3% contribution when you contribute 6%, then you should start with contributing 6% towards your retirement. Let's say you're completely out of debt with the exception of your mortgage and you have at least 3 to 6 months of expenses saved in your emergency fund, then I would consider increasing the contribution to 15% of your total retirement. If you feel confident that you can put more, then move up to 20% to 25%. However, there are some other steps you should consider before you increase your 401k contributions, and that would be the Roth IRA. Before I move on to the Roth IRA, if you're making really good money like in a six-figure income and you want to contribute more towards your 401k, you should ask your employer if they have the employee after-tax contribution option. You can watch the 3-minute video I made about the Mega Backdoor Roth, and I will put the link in the description below. The second portion of my retirement investment portfolio is my Roth IRA. According to the IRS, more than 1/3 of American workers don't have a retirement account, and that includes an IRA. So if you don't have the employer-sponsored 401k plan, then you should consider opening a Roth IRA today. By the way, if you need help with your personal finances, you can schedule a free one-on-one 20-minute financial coaching session by visiting firesidechat.com/coaching. For the year 2022, you can contribute up to $6,000 a year or $7,000 if you're age 50 or older. So think of an IRA like a 401k, but 401k is set up through an employer and in the IRA, you can set it up by yourself. You can contribute $6,000 to your IRA and $20,500 to your 401k. Here are some common misconceptions about the IRA. I'm a stay-at-home parent, so I can't open a retirement account. And that is simply not true. If you're a stay-at-home parent, you may not be able to contribute to your employer-sponsored retirement plan like a 401k or the TSP, but you can still open a spousal individual retirement account or a spousal Roth IRA. When couples have one person working and the other not, they can contribute on behalf of the non-working spouse. However, your tax filing status has to be married filing jointly. You can't file your taxes separately for the spousal Roth IRA. Another myth is I can't access my Roth IRA without a penalty until age 59 and a half. You can actually withdraw your contributions from your Roth IRA at any time. You just can't withdraw your interest without paying 10% penalty in income taxes. So for example, if you contribute $6,000 and you earn $500, you can actually withdraw $6,000 anytime, tax and penalty free. However, if you withdraw that $500 in earnings, then you will have to pay the 10% penalty and taxes. And here's one more common misconception is I make too much money so I can't contribute to a Roth IRA. So for the year 2022, if you're single and your modified adjusted gross income is going to be $144,000, or you're married and filing jointly making over $214,000, then you cannot directly contribute to a Roth IRA. However, you can do what's called a backdoor Roth IRA, and you will need two accounts, a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA to make this happen. Let's say you dollar cost average it by contributing $500 to your traditional IRA every month, but you want to make sure you keep it in a money market account so it doesn't accrue any interest. And the next step is to transfer that $500 from the money market fund in your traditional IRA and then move it over to the money market fund in your Roth IRA. Once the transfer is complete, then you purchase your investment options inside the Roth IRA. One thing I do need to know is that Congress is still trying to pass the Build Back Better Act, and they're looking to repeal the backdoor Roth IRA and the mega backdoor Roth. I don't think they're going to pass the bill before the end of this year. That's just my personal opinion. If they're going to vote on it, I think it'll be in the Q1 or Q2 of 2022 before the midterm elections. So if they keep the repeal of the backdoor Roth in the bill, it probably won't take effect until 2023. The third portion of my retirement portfolio is the health savings account, or HSA. You probably think an HSA is used to spend money on healthcare expenses, and that is not the case for the FIRE community. And FIRE stands for Financial Independence Retire Early. The contribution limit for the HSA is $7,300 for the family plan and $3,650 for the single plan. People in the FIRE community invest in the HSA because it's a triple tax advantage account. Your contributions to your HSA are pre-tax and tax deductible, so you can decrease your taxable income. You can grow your HSA funds in an investment account tax-free. You can also withdraw your HSA tax-free as long as they're for medical expenses. However, when you turn age 65, you can actually withdraw it for non-medical expenses without paying the 20% tax penalty. You would just have to pay the income taxes. So you will have to treat an HSA like the Roth IRA. If you have any medical expenses, you want to use your own cash to pay for them. But the trick is to save all of your medical receipts. When you retire early, you can use these receipts to withdraw from your HSA tax-free before you turn 65. This could be your extra source of income as long as you're organized with your medical expenses. So here's what we plan to do in 2022 with our retirement portfolio, and by no means this is any financial advice. We're first going to prioritize contributing to our 401k and pension up to the employer match because we always prioritize getting free money first. Second, we'll contribute to our HSA up to $7,300 because of the triple tax advantages. Third, we will contribute to our Roth IRAs up to $12,000 between the two of us. The final step is to maximize the 401k up to $20,500. As far as what you can invest in a 401k, it depends on what your employer is offering you. Most of the time, you'll have the option to invest in mutual funds like the target retirement funds, bond funds, international stock funds, and domestic stock funds. If I had no idea what to do with my investment in my 401k, then I would probably choose the Target Retirement Fund. And I'm not entirely a fan of their funds because I don't have control over how much they allocate between stocks, bonds, and the cash reserve. Since I'm turning 59 and a half in 2046, then I would pick the 2045 target retirement fund because the asset allocation changes every single year in that specific target retirement fund and the risk tolerance matches my age. But since I'm young and I have a higher risk tolerance, then I would pick index funds that invest in the small, medium, or large cap US companies. Again, because the employers dictate what funds you can invest, make sure you do your own research to find out which funds are the right choice for you. You can always consult with your brokerage company or a financial advisor. For our HSA in 2022, it's simple. We'll contribute up to $7,300 and invest it into the S&P 500 index fund. For our Roth IRAs in 2022, we'll continue to invest into our index funds like VT-SAX, VFIAX, and FZROX. My wife has her Roth IRA with Fidelity and she invests into the Fidelity Zero Total Stock Market Index Fund. I have my Roth IRA with Vanguard and I invest in the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund and the S&P 500. We don't care what the market will do in the short term because we're looking at the potential long-term growth. We're not touching any of this money until we're ready to retire. If the market dips in the short term, then great, we'll buy more. Let's look at the hypothetical growth between my wife and I in the next 25 years. If we contribute at least $40,000 a year towards our retirement from now until we turn 50, with 8% average annual return, we're looking at about $2.5 million by the time we turn 60. Now that is the power of compound interest. I know that not everyone can maximize their contributions to their 401k, IRA, and HSA. Some of you may not even be eligible to contribute to the HSA, and you can check out the detailed video I made about the HSA, and I will link in the description below. What I recommend is to start small and take one step at a time. If your employer matches your 401k contribution, start with that. Once you're out of debt, you can increase your contributions towards your retirement. So you can go from 6%, 10%, and then eventually contribute 25% of your income towards your retirement. Again, if you need help with getting your finances in order, consider using our financial coaching services on firesidechat.com. So with that said, I appreciate you watching my video and don't forget to check out these 2 fire videos and my social media pages. I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one.